looks like we, again, might be a little slow getting started. Post-break, apparently we gave New Zealand the wrong time, so we're going to wait an hour for them to, no, we're not going to wait an hour for them to catch up. Yeah, looks like a couple of people managed to get it right without our help, so that's good.
There's enough of them that tells us, you know, the important ones are here. Is Bob close to ready? We're just waiting on the participants here. Well, it's only a minute after, actually. 2 now. We're good. We're good.
Great time for any jokes, funny stories, major discoveries. I'm sorry we don't have the COVID update that Lauren usually provides. Okay, looks like we will be going live here shortly, so last chance to grab some refreshments, make yourself comfortable.
Hope everyone enjoyed the week off. It's all charged up and ready. I know Bob is.
So our normal, thanks everyone for joining. Glad to be able to do this as much as we have. Of course, the donations are always welcome. Most of you have that link. We'll post it later.
And as always, appreciate your tuning in. I know Bob is enjoying the time with all of you.
Okay. Without further ado.
Just clicking it.
There he is.
Hello.
You're live.
Live. I may be on. I don't know if I'm alive. Anyway, okay. Thank you for all your writings. I've just quickly skimmed them because many of you sent them in very, very late. So it's not my fault. Anyway, thanks for
better late than never, we say.
For doing this. I thought it was also good for you as part of your training to sit with your own questions, get a deeper sense of your own questions. So you're not just shooting off the top, right? Settle, get to a finer level. So I thought in doing that, that would be healthy for you and part of the process. Yeah. Some very nice rah, you know, thank you for doing this on Friday nights, and it's been helping me a lot. A lot of those, thank you very much for that. Makes me feel the Friday nights are important. Okay. I didn't see a main theme, is not quite the right word here. Is it a main question or problem or something that wasn't clear that a lot of people would write about. But I think I noticed a bit of a surge from self. Self seems to be trying to show itself. And I think in reading these, I saw a bit of self. Self is here someplace, and self is nagging on me. So I think it may be getting close to the time to go. We touched on it a little bit as a warm up. Remember, we talked to over self and whatever. But it sounds like we may be getting closer to a time of really working with that very important component, self. Self in this case is not my idea of me, Bobby. Self is a very original, and we'll go over all of this, but a very original pre-creation. There was a self. Starts creation, there's a self. So it's a very important a really hidden part. We say hidden, or no, we use that a different way. But to me, self is like the paper, and we draw all kinds of pictures on how the energies work and how you develop in there. But the important piece through those energies and through that character is self. Okay. And we'll try to I'll try to clean up my act and present a bit better, and try to so we can play as a group with self. Okay. They're still clicking in. Why are they clicking in? Noah, you on?
Yes, Sensei, I'm on.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like doing this first. This afternoon, when I was talking to Moon and Kenny and Lauren, and we skimmed some of these very, very fast. And when Ray, New Zealand Ray, when yours was mentioned, the three guys who were talking to me kind of got involved in it, or excited about it, or they wanted to jump in. So I might want to, before we get going on whatever tonight's thing is, might want to go over that. Let me read here. So something about truth. What is your truth? I may have asked at another time. And he said it struck a chord, as he finds truth is hard to pin down. My question is, how can you settle fully into your own reality and still remain open to the possibility, probability of equally valid alternate realities? You could substitute belief system for reality in that sentence. Bob, did you catch all of that? Because you weren't in our conversation this afternoon.
I believe I did. Yes, I believe I did, Sensei.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to jump in on it. Moon, you want to start that? And then maybe Kenny, if you want to continue. How would you answer that? I guess I'm asking.
Bob, I think it'd be better if Ken and Bob went first, because mine's a little bit of a tangent on it. So go ahead.
A tangent? No tangent. No tangent. Short and sweet and to the point. If you're going to tangent, don't ever let Moon come on again, ever. No tangents allowed. Okay. Kenny, anything just to warm the audience up here a bit?
Sure. So, now I'm frozen.
You were so excited this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, I would say that reality isn't fixed. And who we are determines what we see. So there's a feedback loop. And as I develop as a person, I see Aikido techniques differently. I see my relationships differently. So I think that feeds from itself, and they should improve each other.
Okay. How can you settle fully into your own reality and still remain open to the possibility of equally valid alternate realities? Bob, you ready for that?
I'll take a shot. I would say
Thank
two
you.
things. One of them is if you're experiencing self, even at a fairly rudimentary level, and obviously if you get more refined experience of self, this gets better.
Okay. Excuse me, Bob. Bob, don't go too much into self here. We're not ready yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Right? Let's say a character. Okay.
Okay.
Let's not go into self. I don't want to confuse them with that word yet.
All right.
I'm a self kind of thing. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. You're on.
The more settled and balanced the character is, the easier it will be to experience the settling and balancing going on in other characters. And you also have a clearer picture of how the universe works. And once you understand that, at least at some level, you can see how people construct a reality around themselves and how you construct your reality around you. And that kind of dual perspective allows you to do what the writer that you just mentioned asked about.
Moon, without going on a tangent, please. Anything to
No,
say?
what I mean by that is that what you're talking about settling into is not a fixed thing. You is an experience of, and I don't know what word you want to use here, Bob, but so the idea is that everything that you're experiencing is changing who you are, as who you are is changing everything that you're experiencing. It's a flux. It's nothing you can ever get your hands on in that way. And it's why I think people like to lock onto the form and just repeat the form, because this vastness of yourself, the essence of who you are is what starts to open up. And that's where I think you're headed now. You, Bob, that's where I think you're headed. Ray, I'm sure.
But I don't want to
sure
talk
you're
about
headed
where
there,
I'm
too.
heading. I want to talk to Ray about his question.
Okie dokie. Well, I thought that was on track there, but maybe I wasn't.
God, you guys were so into it this afternoon. Where'd you
No,
all
I'm
go?
telling you that I thought that was the same thing I said.
No.
Sensei, could I add one more thing?
Yeah.
In the past, we've used some of quotes from Bruce Lee to discuss various aspects of the training. Probably the most essential thing Bruce Lee said was that the goal of training is honest self-expression.
Okay.
And not in the big sense of self, but the honest self-expression of the moment. It seems to me the more honest your experience of yourself as a character is, the easier it is to both experience and accept the other person's effort at honest self-expression.
Okay, so if you're feeling your self-character, your personage,
right,
at a better level, and you recognize your viewpoint or your take, then it's easier to have somebody else have their take.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the better I'm ensconced, the better I'm settled into my take. It's my truth. Doesn't mean it's the final truth. It could be Robert's truth and not yet Nadeau's truth and not yet Sensei's truth. It's the truth that I'm experiencing at the moment. So I kind of know that all my truths are temporary, but I'm fully invested with them at that time. Okay. Knowing they can change and improve. I'm allowing the other person to have their truth. Okay. And myself, I don't kind of see a problem with allowing another person. So let me see if I missed anything there. Open to the possibility of equally valid. Well, yes, that's their truth. Where they're coming from, that's their truth. And if I'm comfortable in my truth, I cannot, it seems easy to me to allow them their truth. I may not agree with it or something, but I can allow it. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Are we finished with that? Ray, I don't know if you got anything out of that, but we tried. Okay.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you, Sensei. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that seems important to me, though, is a fuller settling at whatever level, Bobby level, fuller settling, Robert level, fuller settling present with that. If I don't have that fullness, then I'm not even sure about myself. Am I right? Am I wrong? No, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. I'm not even sure about myself. And I go back and forth here. As I settle a bit, doesn't have to be fantastic, but a better level. The level you'd like to be at before you teach a class. Okay, that level, right? Whatever you're using for reference, that level. That the more I'm balanced at that level, the less I'm thrown by somebody else's story. Okay, if I'm comfortable with myself at my level, and let's use Aikido, and I'm an Aikidoist. If the jujitsu guy says da da da, or the MM whatever guy says da da da, it doesn't have to throw me. They're allowed their opinion, their truth as they see it. It shouldn't throw me. If it throws me, I think maybe I haven't more fully balanced at that level. I must still be sort of off that they're throwing me and it's bothering me what I should do with their viewpoint. Something like that. Yeah. Are we finished with this? Bob, anything more?
Well, the better you understand the process of mixing a character, and then you recognize that in a way that process is fundamental to everybody. The character may be different, but the process of mixing a character is fundamental. And if you appreciate that fundamental process, you can appreciate the characters that come out of it, I think, more readily.
Well, I'd leave it with standing on the floating bridge means being in both places at the same time, both true with what you're experiencing at the moment and open to the sense of it changing as it does.
Okay, where are we tonight? I think the write-up was something like downtime reference points. Is that close enough?
That is what it is.
That is what it is. Okay. Okay, let's go over that. See if this one works here. Okay, let's see. Let's say I'm a little tired. Let's call him Bobby. It's a fair, okay, maybe day. Okay, and I'm getting a little tired. Oh, downtime. Settle down. There is a floor. I like the word floor. I'll go into that stuff in after a minute. There's a level or floor. I feel that floor, and I have a sense that from that floor, there is a response or a rebound. So downtime rebounds into the next light time, could we say? L-I-G-H-T? Light, lighter, brighter. So downtime to get a little more energy, boom. And then it re-beats back out and enlivens me a bit. I'm more awake now. Okay, let's continue the project. I am now awake. Okay, I had a nice nap or a nice pause or something. Okay, So downtime to a certain level where we can access the next dimension, we'll go over these words after a while, next dimension of energies, which our sense or the map that I present to you is it implies a finer level of energy. What does that mean? They vibrate a bit finer. It's a better quality. If your quality is nice and you downtime and you go a little bit deeper to the next, it'll be nicer, real nice, or very nice. It'll follow that beat. Okay. So where the hell are we? Now, let's look at the word floor. That's a word that I find comfortable. I like to use the floor, dot, 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 dot. And then when I sense a bit deeper, I can't feel deeper past this floor, but I feel, and there's something that appears like, senses like the floor, and okay, easy, and there's more energy at that level, and boom, here it comes. It's doing the rebeat of itself, okay? So I use floors as a reference, okay? Another one that I use as pools of water. So as I settle down and I need some extra input, there's a puddle and I settle down. Now the puddle infers its more energy qualities. I settle down to a puddle, inferring Bobby's dry. Okay, just to make up words here. And the puddle, when I touch that puddle and open up, it rebounds back out, enlivening, the qualities are activating, and I'm a plus. Okay, maybe no great shakes, it's just a puddle, but I'm not the dead ass Bobby. I'm a little more alert, a little more present, a little more. Doesn't have to be fantastic. Remember, it's a percentage game. Sometimes it's only 5% a little bit better, maybe 10% a bit better. So I like to pump the pumps for a while at a certain level, just to get fuller at that level. Okay, where am I going? Okay, next, for going deeper, sensing now. When we think about going deeper, it's remember the brain map: settled feeling, sense feeling, sensing, finer sensing. So you have to be subtle a bit here to play this game. Okay. Downtime, easy, a bit deeper into a body of water that's a pond. Easy. There. Pond. I don't know how I know it's there. I sense, feel it. The image of it is getting clear. I double check some degree of as if sense feeling it. The words. And pond. Boom. It rebeats. Now there's more energy. And even I can feel that input. What's it doing? For one thing, it's straightening up my body. It's making me breathe a little fuller. What else? Easy. I hit it again. Pond. Boom. Definitely the spine is activated. What else? I'm seeing a bit different, a little clearer, a little more sparkle. I can see things a bit better. What else? Pond, boom. Boom. More fuller in the body. I can feel it inside. Boom. I could take a medium punch here without collapsing. Then at that level, I could also begin to add, what's my take on the world? I feel fuller body-wise, and as this character, what's my take on the world? And again, it just looks clearer, a feeling of more opportunities, more openings. Ah, ah, ah. If I were in Aikido and there were 3 attackers mulling around here, I would not feel too crowded because I'm beginning to sense, feel openings, or there is space. Yeah, they're there, 3 guys, but there's a sense of, oh, look at all that space between them and stuff. And it'd be whatever the business form of it is, or whatever your job is, your view on your situation would be better. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is I like floors as a reference. Okay, I like pools of liquid as a reference. What else do I use? That's basically it. There's maybe a sense of passing through the floor, or that, what's the word we used? I'm going to forget the word, border. Membrane, thank you. Membrane, that at the level I'm at, there's a natural membrane around it. So to pass through into another dimension, a finer dimension, it has better of my qualities, I have to pass through that membrane, okay? We've talked about a lot of tricks. First, settle, easy, certain amount of settled feeling, and then it's fairly easy to pass through. As you move into more finer sensing, you can pass through a deeper levels pretty easy, okay? So, floors, bodies of water. When we do a 2x3 game, maybe I want to do this one standing. Is my camera on? Yes, we're there. Okay. I won't do the walking form. Got the sense, and we won't start in a 1x1. There's no reason right now to start that tight. Let's say it's a fair day, and we'll call that a 2x2. Okay, certain amount of room here, certain amount of energies here, centered and circled, and a character. Let's call them number 2, character. I'm here, and I'm feeling myself. And as I feel myself, just to double check, register myself, what could I comfortably do? Stretch a little bit. Yeah, I could begin to stretch a little bit. Am I ready to pump iron? No, not unless it's 10-pound weight. I'm not ready for that yet. So I feel and register myself. Okay. And then I can register my sense view of the world I'm in. I'm appreciating the flowers. That there's a lot of beauty, or a fair amount of beauty available. Oh yeah, and I got some nice flowers out in the garden, and yeah, there's some beauty out here. It's not my norm, so that one's kind of catching my interest, but no big deal, no big deal. Whatever your view is. Okay. Then we do a downtime. All of that is being traded in. Reaches a certain depth level and rebounds back up into a 3x3. Easy, easy, take your time. Again, rebounds back up into a 3x3. Okay, oh yeah, there's a center there. I'm not sure the parameters. There they are, they're starting to get clearer. Yes, there's the parameters. Definitely the center feels deeper, clearer. The parameters, not bad. I kind of see the thickness of the line. See, sense, feel them? I'm not sure what words to use there, but I have parameters. We're calling this a 3x3. In the 3x3, all the energy qualities that are there are mixing up the character in his world. I'm getting even straighter than before. Feel like I have some back support. So I'm not hanging out here in the world all by myself. I have some personal support. Like I have a back brace or something going on. What else? Easy, feel. Don't think at first. Better to feel for a while and then check out what your sense of the world is, okay? And boom, the beat. It's all mixing. The three by three character. Definitely physically stronger. And what's yours? That's me. It's kind of a physical monster type at first. So my feeling is a lot on, yeah, boom, bang. Yours will be something different, but it should be something of a fuller body. Whether you're a fuller body playing the violin or caring for children, should be a fuller body. You can't be I care for children. You're not doing the process. Okay, is that clear enough? Boom. And a 3 by 3er, feeling himself, herself, breathing yourself. What's your take on the world now? Whew, yes, colorful. Yes, color. Ooh. So for whatever reason, colors are attractive to me. The beauty of colors is attractive to me. But so what? Why is that important in life? Can't just be looking at flowers all day, Nadeau. When you see shit, I see potential beautiful something. For those of you from the way back when, remember I was a dumpster diver. Why? Because there was shit in the dumpster, but I realized they were treasures. I was still doing my essence even then, okay? My students used to say, what's he doing in the dumpster? Finding treasures. And I got very good at it. Could tell you some stories one day. I made quite a lot of money. Ooh, that's a 3 by 3. So we passed through a dimensional wall going from the 2 by to a 3 by. There wasn't necessarily a floor, I just inferred depth and then just shifted. So from 2 by 2, I passed through into a 3 by 3. I didn't need a body of water as a reference or a floor necessarily. I just did 2 to 3, and if I do 3 by 3 to a 4 by 4, I'll just do it here. But some sense of moving into another realm. I'll just pass through. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going. Help me here. Oh, there I am. Okay. So whatever's convenient for you, I think I'm trying to say, to know when you're moving into what I call a finer dimension or a better level that is here. But if I'm locked into my first 1 by 1, I don't feel it. I don't sense it. I could hope it would happen, but that's even hard to do. Okay. So I'm sort of locked in. But it's not that hard to pass through that locked in place. You're free to pass through into another realm, another dimension, a finer vibration state. Okay, and I just use floors as a reference. Give me a little feedback. I use pools of water as a reference, or I could just do a 2 by. Now I'm inferring a 2 by fully rebounds. And if I've gone a little bit deeper, finer dimension, rebounds into a 3 by 3. And I hang out for a while and keep the beats going to get more fully there. So it's not an idea of a 3 by 3. It's, and whoa, this thing is changing. And I'm using Nadeau's macho form. You don't have to do that shit. That's me doing me style. Okay? You do your style. If you're a violinist, then it should be, oh, wow, yes. Okay? Ah. The pattern is important. The qualities and the character, they get mixed up in your center circle setup. That's yours. Okay? And in a certain way, I'll never sort of get down on that one. I'll get down if I see you screwing up the process and you're getting confused in there, then I'll say something. But if you mix up a musician, I'm not going to bitch and say you shouldn't be a musician. You ought to be an Aikido teacher. Unless you really, really, really should be an Aikido. No, forget that. So what gets mixed is you. How we mix, there we can share, because there is a universal pattern that's proper, and certain patterns can really help. Okay. So where the hell are we? I don't know. I got lost. Somebody? Bob, keep it simple. Where are we? Noah?
Well, I think it connects well with what we were talking about with the statement from, I think it was from Ray that we started with, that there is this universal pattern, and that's where our ability to accept each other can come from.
So did you say that the better level you get and the character that gets mixed you, the better that level is, the better it is to hang out with other people?
Yes. And you also understand how they got to be who they were, because even though they're different, the process that created them is the same one that created you.
Anybody, anything there? I got temporarily lost. I'm wide open for anything. We're talking about find your own words for floor or pool or dimensional pass through, membrane pass through. Anything on that?
I'll give you a quote from, I can't remember, St. Francis or somebody. I'll never give away my soul except for something I don't know. And I feel like you hit that place, and all of a sudden that's the threshold.
Would you say that again? I sort of missed the first part.
I'll never throw away my soul only for something I don't know. And I just like the feel of that as you approach this, what you're calling floor. I think right there's a transition that happens. And if you're stuck in your I, identity, whatever you want to call it, then you stop there. And if something has to dissolve, easy the I for that to pass through the membrane.
Yeah. So yes, there are certain tricks to pass through. They're not that hard, but they're important. Easy. I don't want to try to pass through with just an idea. Very important to pass through with some experience, some sense experience. So yes, I have an idea, but the sense of settling, going deeper, there's an experience in that. If you actually say, okay, I know the trick. You say and you're there. Well, that's bullshit, isn't it? So some feeling, later we use finer words like sense feeling, because after a while I can't physically feel these finer dimensions per se. They get past this thing, but I can sense feel them. Okay. When we put the arms on, do the arm better, finer dimensional arms, and it feels, whoa, that's really long. I can physically only feel to my fingertips. Okay. But the energy sense is, woo, it's flowing out there. Okay. And I get a little feedback when I do Aikido because my extension is a little bit better than this guy here. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So, floors or pools of liquid or any type of dimensional border, membrane, pass through. Okay. As you get more into settled sensing, it's a lot easier than trying to think about this. Thinking you're still probably stuck in a too tight a place. On a bad day, you're stuck in a 1 by 1. You're so negative about yourself. You got to settle and easy, get to a little bit better level, and then you can move really fast. I got lost again. Where are we? Somebody?
Hi, Sensei, everyone. This is Justin in Miami. It's good to see you guys. I've been out for a couple weeks, but I just wanted to share now a little bit about my experience in practicing routinely throughout the day. Finding small 1 or 2 minute moments to just keep hitting like a reset button, like a recalibration button, not to wait until we have pressure, or not to wait until there's a chance to apply something that's coming along by way of lineage or whatever, but just to keep making space and maintaining this level of function routinely and just refreshing on the go as often as we can. Just, not to wait per se for what we don't know, just to be open from the get-go.
Yeah, I think I try to say that when saying my preference is to be a little closer to the depth of my process, be a little closer there. Because if I stray too far away, get pushed too
real
tight.
estate, property, mortgage, payoff. This just basically says if they need your help in correcting anything, it's little errors and stuff like that, that you will help them. It wouldn't like be something where it's going to raise your rate or anything. It's just.
Who's got their mic open when they shouldn't? Stop
There's
it.
about 3 different. I mean, get a little guide.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah, so I like what he said, to not wait till you're pushed into a pressure where you realize, oh my God, I'm getting really uptight here. I'm going to kill my wife or whatever. You've gone too far there. So you're saying to just moments during the day, just a quick one, and at least you can like sustain a certain level. You're not going too far that way, and we're not expecting you in the middle of your workday to do a deep meditation. But you're what is that? You're holding yourself at a particular level. Justin, say something here.
I would. I refer to these as like mini resets or mini recalibration, like to calibrate or recalibrate. That's how I like to think of it personally. Little moments just to refresh. Don't wait for what you don't know, but will definitely come up. Why wait? It's inevitable. Just be open from the get-go.
And that's why I tried to have people, when I did the wind tunnel practice, try to get them to be more sensitive to the early pushes of energy that most people don't notice. They don't notice the early pushes. They only notice when they're starting to get into in whatever form. I'm macho man, so I rah that way. But you go, and you go off, whatever. To catch it earlier makes it easier to, as he's saying, recalibrate or, easy, hold the line here. Don't know if hold the line is the right word, but to hover around at that level of being. So you're not getting pushed too far. So I'd like people to be a little more sensitive or recognize the signs of an energy starting to flow through. I realized when I first started going into more detail about this, that I was a shoulder guy. in my leather jacket, my black leather jacket, my boots. And then as I started to get more into this, I noticed for me, the shoulders was a great reference point because I noticed I come up here a bit, my shoulders, and I noticed my shoulders. So I would practice dropping my shoulders and settling down. So that was my physical catch. I didn't use the word push then, but I don't want to do that anymore. Boom. So I noticed the shoulders climbing. I started to notice them as they were beginning to climb, and I would settle and open and Okay, so I found it useful to pick it up earlier before you got tight shoulder, and then the mentality of a tight shoulder guy. This guy is going to jump the gun. This guy is not going to pause at the right time. He's going to go for it. Okay. All right. I just find that helpful. So I like what he's saying. All right. Where are we? Floors. Cool. Energy. Yes. Sorry.
Well, since you seem to be looking for direction, earlier today you were talking about how these pauses are downtime.
Come closer to the phone or something.
You were talking about how these pauses are downtime. So,
Can you hear me? We're not hearing you well, Kenny.
I said earlier today, is this better?
Yeah, try it. Earlier today.
You were talking about how these pauses, the floor, these are all downtime, and that it's important for people to know that, to understand that.
Okay. Oh, you were talking about the I talked to Kenny or noon. We were talking about the those first downtimes, the little downtimes. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't really notice downtimes. For example, I'm a little winded. Give me a moment. Okay. I feel better. Let's continue our jogging. They really didn't notice, I think, that was a downtime. If you say, what'd you do? Well, I bent my body over. Well, okay, but what's going on? Well, I don't know. It makes it easy for me to take some more breaths here because my chest is hanging out free. But what's really going on? Down to a certain level, more energy, qualities, mix up a little better level. Okay, so we have very short ones that people have never, most people, many people have not noticed those short downtimes, those little pauses, what they do with some of these pauses. If you were to study your pauses, you would notice probably some kind of settling. You would notice some attempt to change your breathing beat, or that's trying to change. Notice maybe some kind of sense of easy. Be patient, be calm, be easy, some flavor there. Boom. So to recognize how natural downtime is and the degrees of it, and see, Corona is a major downtime. I mean, we're a year plus. This is pretty big. Okay. Now, within that major downtime, there are some ups and downs of just normal living, but Corona is still a main force. So it's been a major downtime, which some people have taken advantage of or have developed quite well in riding with the downtime, not fighting it maybe, and feel that, boom, this rebeat that happens, that they've really are developing, really are getting to be a better personage. Okay. I'm even hearing some people say in the downtime, they're starting to get a sense of self, starting to feel the actual of self. So, ooh, that's big time. That's cool. So anyway, so we have little quick downtimes, longer downtimes, deeper downtimes. Downtime, that quietness, that darkness, that depth shouldn't make us afraid, because someplace there is a spot, a floor, a pool of water, whatever form, or just a sense. That spot is a different dimension, and boom, it's rebounding back up and out. So where the hell am I? Bouncing around here. What did it say? Okay.
Sensei, it's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hi. Greatly appreciate you talking about the breathing as a element or component of downtime. And I like what Justin is talking about, is just being aware. You can be aware all day long, or even in your resting state, of these moments when you realize you stop breathing. And the floor for me sometimes comes up when I rebound off of, oh my gosh, I'm not breathing right now. And I catch myself taking in a huge amount of air and really almost passing through to another dimension where, I'm conscious of my breath again, and regulating that. So the breath has been a big element of experiencing downtime and the rebound.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Yeah, it wouldn't be, it'd be a cool practice. Instead of just looking at it as breath, to try a little more advanced forms where it's energy downtime, exhale, and it's energy rebounding. And of course, you're going to notice you're inhaling, but your sense experience is energy's rebounding. And the breath will, of course, go along with that. But to get us out of just, well, I breathe. Yes, of course you do. But the finer dimensions of breathing are energy beats. And we could play that even finer and finer. I've never carried that to a big extreme because I haven't breathed for a long time. But I would pursue that if you're into breathing, the finer dimensions of breathing. It would be worth pursuing. It's a natural, comfortable, easy, and there'll be some interesting experiences or observations. I don't know the word right now. When you get the finer levels of that, it'd be worth pursuing if it catches your attention, and apparently it caught your attention.
Oh yes, the simple one is trying to open a jar of mayonnaise out of the fridge, and I'm cranking on it, and I realize I'm not getting anywhere. And suddenly it's just settling into a breath, and the next turn, the jar just opens.
Yeah. I expect it to open on that next one, yeah.
It's Mike, Bob.
Yep.
I'd just like to agree with Tom's comments. I find breathing it's much more than just a breath. It's very much, if I'm settling, it's very much an intaking of resources,
okay,
and information as well. Actually, it's a good in-breath is a very receptive act for me.
Remember, one of the main qualities of the creation is intelligence. So, of course, like there are 4 biggies. Since they even gave them a different word than qualities because they were more original. And intelligence is one of them. So the whole creation is created intelligently. It's all over the place. It's in everything. even, I guess, I don't know if this is right, but even a worm is intelligent about itself at its level. Da-da-da-da. How can we tap things we don't know about? Because it's intelligent. And when you hang out, you can hear it. You can see the intelligence unfolding. Is that okay? So yes, I'm just agreeing with you. Just explaining why. Okay.
No, 100%. And also the opening a jar, that is an excellent example of a little, not a huge thing, but certainly when I notice that all my energy is up in my shoulders and in my hands, and I'm trying harder and harder and thinking, oh God, age sucks and all the rest of it. That no, all I have to do is just relax, settle down, allow all that tension that was involved in that process to go away. And then, the jar opens.
I just handed it to my wife. But she did come up with a great insight the other night. She said, you do the big stuff better. I do it better than she does, but she does the small ones better than I do. Is that what you said? Yes. So that's interesting. So I have to settle down and get small turning energies activated here. Anyway, okay.
Hey, Sensei, this is Tija.
Tija. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So just really acknowledging both Mike and Tom talking about the breath there, because the breath, of course, is been used as a main vehicle for meditative practice. Meditative
forever.
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 And it's one of the ways that we can really connect with downtime, with that dropping down in. So it's not that we always have to be, mindful of the breath, but using it as a vehicle, as a way to more deeply appreciate what's happening in process, like the downtime, is absolutely brilliant thing. And the greatest meditators of all time have used it and taught about it too. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that and really, honor Tom and Mike in their observations and speaking about that.
Yeah, and I could jump a bit and say it follows all the way down the line, because I can be easy for me to perceive the creation as being a great exhale, and it all returns back to its original inhale, and it continues. And as it continues, it's retaining its fine level, but it's also going thicker and heavier. And so you end up with the heavy earth stuff. But if we settle, there's also finer right here, and finer and finer, and also to take advantage of that push-pull of it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
or the breathing of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good trick. Yeah, a good natural pattern.
And those, whether we call it the yin or yang, or the great he and she, or whatever those polarities are, we're in it with the breath. And it's one of the most simple vehicles, and yet one of the most profound in that way. Right.
And Patrick, you paying attention here, because you're playing a lot with that, and I don't think I have time to get into it or find. You wrote something, didn't you, on that? I don't think I can find it because I haven't. Oh, I found it. How about that? 9 out of 16. Ebb and flow of things. So in Patrick's case, he was writing the ebb and flow of things caught his attention. So he's noticing his inhale, exhale, nostril, okay? And he noticed the unlimbering of the arm and the whatever of the arm. Is that okay? Patrick, is that
yes?
Okay? I'm paraphrasing. The back and forth of his exercise rowing machine. Okay, so far?
Yes.
So I say, good. That ba is catching your attention. Now it caught his attention. He says, "Whoa, breathing and this and rowing and this," and realizing, and sometimes he's working too hard at it. Are we okay so far? Because I'm paraphrasing from vague memory here.
Yes.
I say, cool. He wants to play with the beat. And then we can settle and sense the finer level of those beats. So if you want to do the great breath form, or just a sense that there's a great beat out and everything gets created, you know, your character, the center, the circle, and it all goes back. And we have the ability of going back. We're still in creation, so I'm not going back to the pre-creation, not yet. But to a finer dimension, and then the finer dimension beats back out. And the finer dimension then can improve the character, center, and circle. And then all of that, the entirety of your world, your character, beats back. And again, I wouldn't try to each beat do the next finer, it'll get to be too much. So I might stay at one level of it for some beats. How many? I don't know, 5, 10. The full half-hour session. There's no rules there, but not, okay, finer, now finer, now finer is a bit too much, too fast. But just to hang out and just enjoy that, a sense of the creation unfolding, returning back to itself. Oh, returning back to itself, yeah. So, and I'll talk to you on the phone one of these days. Go over this.
Okay, good.
But it was cool that you caught the early pattern as they caught your attention, the breathing, the arm thing, the rowing, and realized something's going on. That's cool, and that's what I would like people to be a little more sensitive, that's the right word, to things. So they go, whoa, gee, I was thinking about that same thing the other day, and my God, I've been thinking about that kind of thing all week. Hey, what's going on in my system? To be more, I don't know, alert to things that are grabbing you, catching your attention. Okay, all right. So, and they'll come at you in many forms. You'll have something recurring, or the people in your world. And this has happened to all of you, where 3 different people say the same thing to you in a week. It's like, whoa, okay. Now, my experience of that was to have 3 different people say you shouldn't be smoking. And for me to go, I heard it, screw you, I'm a smoker. Whatever. I need my way to die, so I've chosen. Anyway, where the hell are we?
Well, we're at 7:30.
Where'd it go? So floors, bodies of water. Oh, do you people have a certain thing you use for reference to let you know when you're moving through into another level? Those are mine, floor or body of water, or just walls that I'm passing through, 2x2 walls. Easy. Settle. 3x3 ought to be showing here. Easy. Trade in everything 2x2 and sense of finer. Oh, there it is. We're starting to get. Take your time. Where am I? Who am I? Don't go there that fast. Hang out with it. Let the center and circle, if you would, establish itself. You know there are energy qualities mixing around, and a character is mixed. Let that character feel himself, herself, more and more fully. So I might do a few more beats there to get fuller and fuller at that level of a character, 2x2 character, and get his fullness. And then I go into, now what's your viewpoint, what's your attitude, I go into is that mental part? I go into the mental part, but I do this first. I don't want to jump to the mind part. Who am I? Feel yourself first. then the other part will come in much more naturally. Okay. I don't know if I want to get into that, but if you go to the mind part first, you may forget there's a, for lack of a word, a body there. And you need that fullness of this also to do proper work in the universe that we're in. If you just do the upper half work, just the mental, we're going to miss a lot. That's where OSensei came in. He said, I understand this. I could teach this. I could be good at this. I'd have more students. Okay. But he said, they're missing this whole realm too much. So I'm going to show this realm also. So that was his first preference. He said, get this, and this will naturally click in. Get this, and you might be hard pressed because you're into this finer upper floating around, and in a certain way, you're not here. And if you're not here with the character, it's going to be very difficult to be the fullness of self. The fullness of self. Self, if this is the whole universe, that white paper underneath this is self. Okay? And if we do just this, we're going to have an idea about self, or anyway, it's going to screw up a bit. So we get this first. Okay, the rest will kick in. Get a fuller body. You'll have a sense of things. Get a fuller body. You'll have a finer sense of things. Okay, they'll work nice that way. All right, so that's what made OSensei's approach different than a lot of other spiritual approaches. And I'll major in that if we have to a different day. Okay, where are we? Minute or two left here, somebody? Oh, any of you use anything other than a floor or a body of water or walls that are permeable and you can pass through? Anything there that we could?
Sensei, this is Tija again.
Tija, yes, sir.
So for me, I don't necessarily have one of those kinds of references, but you spoke about it when you were just talking about it as feeling. So I always reference that deepening as somatically in my own, the fabric of my own body, you know?
Okay,
So I'm feeling in there, and it will have certain qualities. There'll be certain things that will key me to the fact that I'm opening. It's a sense of release. It's a sense of openness.
Okay, I'm sorry, slow you down. Settling, opening, okay, so far?
Yep.
And you sense, feel?
Yeah,
I'm
in the body. I'm in the body. I feel it in my body.
Okay.
So it doesn't
do
have
finer. So your sense, but again, I want to go at sense, feeling a different quality.
Yeah.
You said that. I want to stay on that. You skimmed right over it.
Okay.
Good for you, but not for the troops yet.
I got it.
Oh, this is a different quality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For example, in some way, it feels nicer, in whatever form. Okay.
It's
whatever.
More unwound. It can be more spacious. Usually has a quality of spaciousness.
Spacious or
greater
freer, whatever. Okay, just that alone told him he moved into a different dimension. Okay, so that's his reference. When I move into another dimension, I know it because it vibes a bit different. Yeah, and I can sense, feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if he continues, the next one will sense, feel, even a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
As it gets finer and finer, it actually does feel finer and finer through the body. Not only in the sense of feeling good, but it's usually clearer, finer, more like light. Is a way I describe it sometimes.
Or if you're into sound, the vibe of it is probably,
That,
I'm sure
and the
you've bumped into
vibration.
that one before.
Yep, I think I have.
Wow, that sound or that vibe, wow, what a nice sound. And you continue to, whoa, this one's even better, or whatever better is. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, so he's using the energy qualities of different dimensions to let him know when he's at that dimension. I just like to do a little something before that, the floor or the water, and now the water is really da 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 da, and then I feel the qualities. So again, whatever form, you see, we did the same thing, right? So sometimes don't get confused by, what, you don't work floors? You can't be very spiritual. What kind of shit is that? But that's what you hear out there from those people. What? Anyway, okay. It flew by as usual. Damn. Anything on downtime? The natural rebound of things. Okay.
Well, Bob, to come back to what we touched a little on, and actually I think relates to Patrick's kind of in the game kind of play. We mentioned something about the, before a basketball guy takes a free throw, he always bounces the ball a few times. He's doing something similar to downtime. Golfer, same thing before they take a hit. Just quickly, but there's a shift, and it's very, I don't know what I want to say about it.
Yeah, okay. And in the human condition, we tend not to really, in too many cases, not to notice the preliminary of him settling down, even before he approaches the ball, golfer, okay? Approaches the tee, as we say. That's very important what's going on, but it's harder to see, okay? Right? Now you begin to see more as he addresses the ball. He'll wiggle his ass a bit and whatever, okay? And then we're really waiting for him to hit the ball, okay? But no, the important work was long before what he was doing in his own system. And I would say to establish a golfer so that by the time he gets there, the golfer, the true golfer, is already there. And he may line up a little bit, but the true golfer is already there. Okay? And we just don't have the eyes to see the preliminaries. Okay. And what goes on with the preliminaries. Now, some athletes or some people are so natural with it, they don't know what they do, but they do it. That's why a lot of pros aren't coaches. They don't know what they did. So they're not good coaches, even though they're the best hitters or fastest ball throwers or whatever. Oftentimes they're shitty coaches because they don't know what they did. They didn't study it. They didn't fine tune it, whatever. So blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Thank you, Richard.
Sensei, I'd like to pick up on this point and just sort of build off of what we've all been talking about for a bit, in that you mentioned sensitivity and trying to catch this earlier. And I've noticed, as an example, if I'm having a heart-to-heart with somebody, I might start tapping my toe or have like a restless leg or something. And my body as a diagnostic is telling me, hey, you're under more pressure than the framework that you're lining up with is allowing right now. Maybe you need to drop your shoulders and open up. I think my system is giving me these little clues to invite me to open up, because where I'm approaching things is not sufficient at that level.
Yeah.
So like my toe will tap, and I'll have my leg shaking or something like that will start happening.
I'm going to jump in here.
I'm done. Thank you.
And I like to change the words whenever possible. Oh, my toe is tapping. I'm under pressure. I would like to throw that word out. Oh, my toe is tapping. Oh, there's more energy about. Oh, there's more energy to mix me up better to deal with this person. But pressure, I don't like the word. It makes no big deal, but I don't like the, oh, I'm under pressure. Why am I under pressure? And whoa, a lot of energy. Okay. I know energy is a plus. I know energy and qualities are the same. And here's the more of them to make me the more of me. Oh, so I just like to take a more, I don't know what word, benign, a more nice, a more, even with some simple words, like that. I don't know how big a deal that is. I'm just mouthing off here. But did you follow?
For what it's worth, I agree with you, Sensei. I don't mean pressure. It can be information, energy, data.
We don't have to know.
No
We just
connotation of
open. We
negative
just
anymore.
open. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because a lot of people think I have to know what it is before I open to it. No. And you don't even have to know what it is as it's welling up and mixing up character. Just know there's something beneficial mixing going. After a while, oh, I see, it's more balance, or it's more caringness, or it's more insightfulness, or whatever. But you don't have to know what it is to get this game going. Just that there's something there. And after a while, you know, by law, the something there is only a plus. You gotta kind of know other, oh, I don't know. What is that? Why am I shriveling? Why am I being pushed? Why am I, it's gotta be better. Coming in from this deeper, finer, is trying to mix you up better for the situation you're in, or vice versa. Being present, making the situation clearer and better. Okay. So yeah. So there's certain beliefs that make it easier, and the beliefs are based on some past experience. How do I know it's better? Because every damn time I sit down and stand up, easy, settle down. Ooh, it feels like it's coming up from deeper. Okay, we'll see. Ooh, still a little shaky. There might have been a plus. I didn't catch what it was. I noticed shaky. Okay. Down, easy. Here it comes. Aha. There's the beginning of something. Oh, there's the beginning of something. And I'd hang out at that level for a bit, and let it be fuller and fuller. And that happens all the time. So I naturally trust that when I open, something's going to happen to make this better. Okay? How can you trust it? How many times do you have to do a simple practice to realize this is how it works? Yeah. Put your arm out. Oh, it's a lot of work. Okay, you settle, open, easy, da. Here it comes, flows out. Ooh, that kind of floated out a bit more, huh? Let's try it again. Easy, settle, inferring a better level in whatever form you sense that. Da. And here it comes. Oh, it might not have been as smooth, but it's longer and stronger. Oh, cool. I mean, it got better. It flowed out. Then it got longer and stronger. How many times do I have to do this before I know next is even going to be finer? And then the next 50th one is going to even be finer. How do I know it's going to be finer? Oh, dear God, you're still stuck in that. What is that? That's a minus 1 by 1. What are you doing? Okay, so faith is just that it happens over and over again. I mean, you have faith when you put your key in the car that it's going to turn on. Okay, you figure it does. When it doesn't, you're really shocked. How do you know? Because for the last 8 weeks, when you turn the key, your car started. You expect it to start. Is that too dumb an example? We're finishing up here, are we? I don't care. I can hang out with you. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's Mike from New Zealand.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, for me, the dimensionality, certainly at an initial stage, I experienced very much through my body. When I want to when I'm in a situation, I want to achieve something specific. As I settle, what I notice is that I get this sense of every element in my body, every joint, starting in my feet and coming up through my knees and into my hips and very much up my spine and out
They
to my
wrote a
fingertips.
song about that.
Yeah, indeed. But it's a real thing. It just feels like everything is now fully connected, whereas before the process it wasn't. It was there, but it wasn't. It's almost like unkinking a water hose that's been kinked. And that's very
I
much.
know when I'm unconnected with myself, if I drop something, especially if I drop something twice, okay, that tells me, Nadeau, you better, because the realm you're in, you're not connected. It's even dangerous for me to walk.
Right.
And I'm beginning into that stage more and more these days, but we'll pass on that subject. Fucking old age. Anyway, but that clues you in. Oh, I'm at that level. If I have to do anything important, I got to change levels here. Okay. If I'm just going to sit on my chair and watch TV, then it doesn't damn well matter one way. But if I'm going to walk down the stairs here and whatever, then it matters because I could trip on the stairs, you know. So yeah. So that's why I had you people do a one by one to recognize the whatever in your body, so you'd recognize a lesser form of that is sort of uncoordinated in your own body, where you drop something and you pick it up, and a minute later you drop it again. You're getting in your own way. You know how that is. You get in your own way. Just to clue you in, oh, you're getting to that level. Might be time to settle down and get to a little bit better level because you're not functioning very well. It's not safe. Better get to a better level. So that's why I had you people go to a one by one, hoping that you'd be honest and feel yourself in a one by one and feel your body mannerisms and your thought process. So you'd recognize if you ever got pushed towards that, you'd recognize the signs coming up hopefully earlier before you got into a one by one. Or worse, even tighter, where you're fucking crazy. Was that okay? Yeah. Just hanging. You got to go. Got to hang. You want to hang out? Feel free.
Sensei Bob Noah here.
Yes,
We were talking about recognizing the earlier signs of how the greats do things so well. And I got to spend a day with the Thunderbirds, the Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. And they don't start synchronizing with themselves when they're in their planes 18 inches apart at 700 miles an hour. From the time they get up from the chair in their weather briefing, walking out to the plane, every step up the ladder, putting their helmets on, the canopy coming down, they are in sync then.
Sync, yeah.
Then when they're going 700 miles an hour, they're okay.
Naturally more, yeah, in sync, yeah. Yes.
I also saw Ben Hogan playing golf at the U.S. Open in San Francisco. And I was watching him on the practice tee. And of course, his swing and everything was beautiful and how he hit the ball was beautiful. But I was watching him, the way he put a club in and out of his bag was the same. The way he did every simple movement was exactly the same. He didn't wait till he was ready to hit the ball to get to that place.
So you could tell he was at a better level by how he drew that club out of the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts very early. Okay. Or that's a good trick to use. Don't wait till you're in the middle of the problem. If you kind of had any sense the problem was coming up, he knew he was going to have to play golf, So you start to prepare a bit early. Okay. Yeah. Good trick of the trade. Hey, again, I'm just hanging out. Anybody, anything? Downtime?
Sensei, this is Tom. You talked about what other types of, like a pool or the floor, other dimensionalities that we might experience. For me, when I've been training at some skill like golf or whatever, I get better. I see myself getting better, and then I reach what I call a plateau. It's not so much downtime, but it's a plateau. And I find myself stuck there on this plateau. And then I get anxious. I should be getting better. I'm stuck and I should be getting better, and I don't know why. And I have to give myself the opportunity to be okay on this plateau, okay on level. And suddenly, just staying in the practice, my level increases without effort. It just happens. But getting used to being on that plateau is the hardest part.
Isn't it interesting, Tom? I think everybody in the world knows there are training plateaus. You know, that little da-da, yeah, da-da-da-da. Yeah, everybody knows that, don't they? It's common knowledge, don't they? But every time they hit it, they freak out.
Right.
That's sad. That's sad. You see, this knowledge doesn't do them any good. Okay. So, and we learn that early in Aikido because at least me and other people. So anyway, I remember warning people, 1 month, careful there. You lose a lot of students 1 month because there's a minor plateau or something. Then 3 months is a plateau. Maybe 6 months, but definitely 1 year is a plateau. So anytime in those periods, the student should know that they're reaching that plateau, and to be easy for a while, they'll naturally, within a week or so in Aikido, they'll naturally be moving through it and starting to get the upsurge. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's nice maybe for the teacher to know it, to warn the person, I've checked your card and you've been here a month. So be prepared for a little questioning about how good you're getting or what you're doing here. It's normal to have that question at 1 month. But in 1 month and 1 week, you'll be okay. 3 months. Careful now, you're at 3 months. I just checked your card. You got 3 months in. Careful. This is what happens at 3 months. Okay. You hit a little place where there'll be a few days where you don't think you're getting better. You probably even think you're getting worse. No problem. After that 5 days, you'll start to be on the upsurge of it again. So that's what I used to try to get across to folks. So thank you for that. Yeah. Remember, downtime is natural. Okay. Everything. That's why we went through this before. The tree in my front yard. Springtime blossoms heavily. Okay. Come fall, it's starting to lose all that blossom. It's the fruit tree's going to lose all that fruit. It goes dormant, downtime for a while, a long time, 3 months or whatever it does. Then soon it begins to spring out again, refreshed, new blossoms, a better gift of fruit. Itself probably grows a bit bigger and whatever, is more present with itself. Very natural, very natural, very natural. So, I just wanted to clarify a little bit the word floor, for you to find your own word, your own recognition of when you're going through. I like what Tisha said. He doesn't have a floor per se, but the quality, the sense of where he's at changes. Okay, cool. Tells you it must be at a different level. The texture you're in, the sense of what you're in, or the sense of what you're feeling is different. Okay, yeah. Blah, blah. We finished? What about somebody who never comes on? Come on. Come on, we must have somebody out there I haven't heard from in 8 months. Come on, you there? I know, see, a bunch of shy people.
Give them a minute. They'll be fine. I think there are some
Come
people
on.
who are probably waiting to speak.
Come on. Come on. No,
While we're waiting, you want to grab a glass of wine? I don't know how
no,
far you're ready to
no,
go tonight.
no. I'm not going to wait an hour for them. I'll give them a minute,
Okay,
not an hour. Yeah.
good.
You think. So sometimes we have conversations about involving with people more. Richard, this is the problem. Please, people who I haven't talked to in 8 months or never, please say anything. Come on. And nothing happens. So I'm not that excited about how do we get them to say something.
Torture.
Robert, it's Gina.
Well, there we
Wait.
go. Hey,
Oh,
Gina.
Gina. Well, Gina's not 8 months, but we'll listen to Gina.
Well,
Oh,
my
Gina.
question in my letter was just answered about getting to a certain level and then never thinking I'd go any deeper, but I should relax about it, I guess, and hang out there.
Okay. I would like to be careful. And I'd say, so her, what she just said, if you heard what she said, that she's been doing very well, click, 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 doing very well and obvious improvement. But she's reaching a place where she can't seem to move on to the next level with whatever. And it's more than one thing, all things, she can't seem to move into the next level. Okay. So if I had time, me and Gina to work together, I would double check what she's doing at the floor that you're stuck at. Okay. To see if she's as fully there. Because one trick is to be fully present, and then it's pretty easy to pass through. If you're half-ass present and think, well, I want finer, well, then you're not present, and it's not going to work well. To be present, hang out, flavor, soak, and someplace in there, there ought to be the down pull naturalness of it. So I would double check that. I might double check your relationship with your circle situation just to double check the beats of that. My sense. But to be a good doctor, I would have you do that test and take your blood over here just to double check. But my sense is that you might be reaching, you've had good success with settling and being an improved singer or whatever. Okay? You've had good success. It worked for you. And right now it's like, it's not working. What if enough on that, enough on using that for reference? Okay? And you even brought it up in the letter. You hinted at getting old, that crossover time is not that far away. You hinted at it. You remember? You did. If I have to find it and read it, I will, but I don't have the
Don't
time.
read it.
Okay. So I'm saying, okay, you've had good success with center and circle and character improving. Good. Now let's cut to the chase. Self. Let's not go another level. What are you going to do? You're going to sing a note a little bit better than you did last month? What are we going to do with that, Gina? Our crossover time is fast approaching.
I know.
So one more note on your singing is like, come on, we've been there, done that. What's important now? Self. So I'm thinking that enough that it's your system, maybe saying, again, I would double check, but maybe saying enough on that. Now let's go for self, which I'll get into whenever we do. Soon, okay? All right. I said the same thing to Florida.
Justin.
No.
Me.
Diane. Sorry,
Amy-
Diane.
Amy
My brain
Diane.
cells are growing along with my body. That she's got all these years of doing a partner relationship, sensuality, caring and loving each other. 20 plus years of doing workshops. Okay. There's a lot of balance and all the basics, settling, balance, finer dimension, exchange with your partner, da 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 da. And a few months back, she said, getting, for lack of words, bored at that level or doesn't want to continue that level, is what she told me a few months ago. My sense there, and I mentioned it to her, is you've got 20 years of that finer and finer dimensions back and forth with your partner. Enough already. Let's cut to the chase. Self. Let's pick up self. And where I'm going to head people one day is self with the self, self dialoguing with the self. That's futuristic, big time potential. I won't say anything more about it, but are we okay, Diane?
Yeah.
So first we got to make sure we got our basics down pretty good, because a lot of people will get a little harmony with these energies, and the harmony, oh, this is nicer, self. It's not self, it's a harmony of energies within that set. Okay. Or because of harmony of energy, it'll get to a level where it's very peaceful or very sweet or it hums nice. That's not self. That's harmony of energies or balance of energies. Self is the paper underneath that. Okay? So all that nice harmony is still the drawings. And we use it for a reference to get to a better level, let's say a sensing level of those. And that's more than good enough. Let's go for self. So that's where I'm heading. I heard it crop up in your letters by a lot of people. Self saying, I want to show myself. I need some help to be present here. I'm pretty sure I heard it from a lot of people. The self is trying to, boom, emerge, show itself. Yeah. So that's where we're going, folks. But I'll make sure we got our squared away and there's no heavy misunderstandings, because if you're all convoluted in here, I can say, okay, where's myself? Not if you're mentally, this is mental convoluted. Where's self? It ain't going to be there. You know, it's going to be all screwed up. Certain amount of the basics, and then certain level, self should begin to show. And we continue a better level, and self should begin to show more. Okay, so that's where we're heading. I just want to make sure we've got our basics down pretty good. Okay, enough for tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best one ever.
Thank you, Sensei.
Who said that?
Who cares?
the best ever.
Thank you, Sensei.
All right.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, and thanks again for your work, and it was good for you to do that. So, but thank you anyway.
Tim, for all of you, thanks for showing up.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you all.
Thanks, all you who support people.
Thanks very much, Sensei. That was a great session.
Thank you, Sensei.
See y'all next week.
Oh, it's just so hard to leave these sessions.